You all for coming. I was still under the 6 o'clock schedule, so this is my outdoors working in the garden. I thank God for Megan setting a reminder in the Outlook, I think, that said, 28 minutes. So, okay, I'd like to call this special meeting to order. And I need to make a motion that says, I move that we enter closed session pursuant to MCL 15 to discuss material exempt from disclosure by statute, more particularly the written legal opinion of our attorney, which is exempted from disclosure under MCL 15. I have a support for that motion.
Before we do that, could you do the pledge of allegiance and the roll call? It's not public comment, then we'll do that, so that's dispense with.
Well, I didn't see a flag and I thought we didn't need to go
It's
through
behind
that.
that wall.
Okay, all right, let's see.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so there is a provision for public comment. Is there anyone from the public who wants to speak to the board? Okay. Seeing none? Nobody online? All right. Now do I approve the agenda as written? Anybody want to make any additions to it or add? Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I move to approve the agenda.
And support.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now, I will again read this motion that we enter closed session pursuant to MCL 15.268 to discuss material exempt from disclosure by statute, more particularly the written legal opinion of our attorney, which is exempted from disclosure under MCL 15.243. I have support for that motion. Support. Any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Hey, roll
Yes.
call. You roll call.
We want to roll. Okay. Glenn.
Yes.
Yeah. Marcia.
Yes.
Yes.
Beth.
Yes.
Karen.
Yes.
Deb.
Yes.
Good. Jessica. Yes. I say yes. Motion passed.
A motion to adopt the resolution as presented.
Support? Support. Any discussion?
Is the resolution going to be read in? Or was this made part of the public packet?
Not make part of the public packet.
Then it should, my recommendation would be that the resolution be read in since it's not. For the public packet, passing a resolution without saying what that resolution is.
Probably read it, Alice.
I can if you don't want to, or.
Oh, I'll looking at you or I think I'll looking at you.
Okay. Okay. Resolution you're proposing reads as follows. Resolution to establish a regional entity under the Michigan compiled law MCL 330.1204B to foster and support institutions, programs, and services for the care, treatment, education, and rehabilitation of those inhabitants who are seriously disabled in accordance with Article 8, Section 8 of the Michigan Constitution, and specifically those inhabitants with mental illness, substance use disorder, or intellectual/developmental disability as provided in MCL Chapter 330 Michigan's Mental Health Code. Whereas the people of the state of Michigan enacted Michigan's Mental Health Code to fulfill the requirements of Article 8, Section 8 of the Michigan Constitution in regard to the inhabitants with mental illness, substance use disorder, and/or intellectual/developmental disability. Whereas Medicaid and federal funds are by far the most significant sources of funding utilized to implement and maintain the institutions, programs, and services outlined in the Mental Health Code. Whereas there are 10 prepaid inpatient health plans properly formed and currently operating in accordance with the Mental Health Code for the purpose of managing Medicaid, federal grants, and other funding sources. Whereas the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has issued a request for proposal that appears to categorically prohibit or debar the current PHIPs from participating as qualified bidders and appears to violate the Mental Health Code, federal procurement regulations, and state procurement law and regulation. Whereas this board would prefer that the current PHIP and community mental health service program system be preserved or reformed as necessary through negotiations with NBHHS and the legislature without the need for an RFP process. Whereas a lawsuit has been filed by other PHIP and CMHSP boards in the Michigan Court of Claims, a lawsuit seeking injunctive relief from the RFP and the apparent violations of federal and state laws and regulations contained therein. Whereas this lawsuit and subsequent lawsuits that may be filed are unlikely to be resolved before the RFP deadline imposed by NBHHS. Whereas if the court does not find in favor of the current PHIP and CMHSD system, the results of the RFP process are allowed to move forward and there is no qualified governmental entity that submits a proposal by the deadline, the result by default shall be the privatization of Michigan's behavioral health system. Whereas in the event of an unfavorable ruling, this board wishes to preserve the possibility of a government-based behavioral health system through a PHIP that, one, is created in accordance with the Mental Health Code, two, maintain local control and a voice for individuals served through a connection with the same counties that created the current CMHSP system, three, meets the legal formation, governance, structure, and conflict of interest criteria as outlined in the NBHHS RFP, and four, can submit a qualifying proposal to NBHHS by the RFP deadline. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the OnPoint board adopts the bylaws of the Michigan's public-led and accessible network, My Plan, as presented, and directs the secretary of the board and administration to file these bylaws with the clerk of the county of Allegan. In accordance with these bylaws, that Mark A. Whitty shall act as a director and, if elected, an officer on the My Plan Transitional Board until such time as NDHHS has announced the intent in award a contract and the RE board is established. And while serving in that capacity shall be duty bound to act in the best interest of the MI plan.
I saw read the resolution was moved by.
Okay, so the resolution was moved by Gail and seconded by Karen. Motion carried by roll call vote, which I will do in just a minute. Any discussion before we do a vote? Okay, Jessica. You ready to vote on the resolution?
Yeah. Or with that as is correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Deb. Karen.
Yes.
Yes. Mark.
Yes.
Gail.
Yes.
Marcia.
Yes.
Crystal. Yes. Glenn.
Yes.
And I abstain. So that means 9-0. There's another provision for public comment, if anyone wishes to speak. Anybody online? Hearing no one? I'll move on to, board member comments. Line, do you have anything you wish to say? Michelle? Yeah.
Yes. At the Met Conference, last week, we had the pleasure of hearing Elizabeth Patel give information about the Medicaid, and how it flows from the federal government to the state government and into the state, system. She also did not go and give any information as to the PHI bid out because it was quote unquote in process, so she could not comment. After that, I was able to meet with her and thank her for coming to Allegan and giving our pilot to the DHS department here as in a transitional team effort that takes care of individuals that come in there. I also was able to talk to Alan Bolter after his presentation. And Alan said, in his estimation, it's so hot that Elizabeth would like to see this just go away or the court prevail. She feels that it's blown up in her face and that she would just like to get it gone. So whether it proceeds from there, I don't think it will have the support of the director. So that's the personal information that I got from the powers that be. And so hopefully that's a good sign and we won't have to create this regional entity. So.
We can't take it to the bank, but that certainly is good news.
Well, probably it's underneath it. Or if you want to know what the lake level is, it's just, that's what's going on there underneath the surface.
Well, you know, I would be happy to allow her to save face in any way she wants to, if she did, you know, if she would back off.
I can just, that's it. She's gonna try to push it. Oh,
Mark,
and nothing further.
nothing. I have nothing either, so thank you so much for coming. Oh, I did nothing. You know what, I need to go the same way. Okay, we're good? We're good.
I have something. Move to adjourn.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Oh.